All right, hello everyone. We're back with Cash Capital. We got our portfolio update coming, and what you got?
Don't look now, people, but the stock market is crashing. Okay, it is crashing. Head for the hills. Grab your women and children. Stock market is crashing. Today alone, Dow down 557 points. NASDAQ down 192 points. The VIX, which is the measure of the volatility in the market. Where are we at in the VIX? I think the VIX is around 22. So VIX
Yeah,
spiked 12% today. So there's a lot of people, afraid. There's something called the fear index. The fear index rose today. So you really need to have a plan for when the stock market goes down like this. There's also two big points of information that are coming out this week. Number one, Wednesday, Nvidia, they report earnings. So, the market is tied to Nvidia. And I'll let you talk about the people, the stories with Nvidia, Maddox. But um, that's a very big piece of information people are going to see. And then also the jobs reports coming out this week. And, with the government shutdown, we're not sure what type of jobs number we're going to get, so there's a lot of ambiguity and there's a lot of uncertainty around that. So there could be a setup here. If Nvidia has bad earnings and we get a bad jobs report, that market starts to tank. But guess what? When people get fearful, we get greedy. Okay. And that's when the people who are millionaires start to make their money on these big dips. Most people, average investors, they run for the hills. But people who are long-term investors, they see opportunities like this coming, and they'll scoop up a lot of good stocks when they have downturns like this.
yeah, that's true. Definitely dark days in the market right now. But the thing about being a long-term investor, you're not really worried about whatever's going on short term because you're in it for the long term. So as long as you keep dollar cost averaging, you should be good.
What were those Nvidia stories you were telling me about earlier?
All right, we're gonna get into that in a market update, not this video.
Oh, my bad. I stole your thunder.
Yeah, nah. We don't, but stay tuned for that. But yeah, Nvidia report earnings Wednesday. And it's going to be really big for the market, but also for AI stocks. I hold a bunch of AI stocks, so does my dad. So it could be I forget what the quote is, raising water raises all tides or raises all ships, something like that. It could be like that, or it could just go down from there. But either way we're prepared. So
Rising
here we
tide
go.
lifts all boats, son. Let me just
Yeah,
give
that's what I'm at. That's
yeah, okay. Get your quotes right, son. Come on.
yeah. But yeah, we gonna get into portfolio though.
Cool. Let's do it.
All right, so this is a portfolio. As you see, we're still up a lot, but there is a lot of red. So we're gonna show you guys where that's coming from and what's really going on.
There's blood in the streets, as they say.
Yeah, so starting off with my portfolio at 613 right now, with $80 of that being gains, and we're gonna break this down side by stock. What's really happening right here. So starting off with AMD, AMD pulled back to 240, like I said, a couple videos ago. But pretty much the story with AMD and pretty much all of the AI stocks that I hold, I think with the fears around the AI bubble, I think a lot of investors are starting to sell off AI stocks. So a lot of stocks are pulling back. So everybody's pretty much taking profits on what they had during the AI trade. And now you're starting to see that pullback. But this also could be a good potential buying opportunity.
If you guys see AMD get under 200, back that truck up and start to buy, guys. As much as you can. Don't get crazy, but as much you can AMD. If you can get that stock under 200, that will be a nice price. So that will be my price target to add to my AMD play if I can get it under 200.
100%. And then we got Google. So I think among all the turmoil in the market right now, Google is the only stock that's really continued to go up. A recent news is that Berkshire Hathaway has bought Google. So I think it's up like 2% today. So that's why it's considered to rise. And, other than that, the story around Google is pretty much the same. This is definitely something I'm going to continue buying. I think it's it's still a great stock.
I think Google's definitely interested in play. You mentioned that Berkshire Hathaway, and Berkshire Hathaway is none other than who?
Yeah, Warren Buffett. So
Warren Buffett. When Warren Buffett buys something, people pay attention. And of all the stocks were down today, most stocks were down, Google was up. And Google's interesting because they had that antitrust lawsuit that kept them from all these gains that the other Mag 7s had. But now, since they were a laggard, now they're starting to move. So I think Google's even good here, to be honest with you, because they've lagged for so long with this bull market. They're probably a good stock to buy on any type of pullback.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so moving on, we got Lululemon. So the story around the stock really hasn't changed since the first portfolio update. So the stock's kind of bottomed out, around the 165 level, low, very low valuation, very strong fundamentals as well. So the stock has looked to go up, but it hasn't. So definitely curious to see what the stock does, and really just looking for any type of move.
The cool thing about this stock that's pretty interesting and really is as something that something you can learn from when you're investing. Look at that 52-week low. That 52-week low is around $159, right? That's very close to what the price is now, right? So that stock has been hovering around there for a while. And when it hovers around a certain price, it's called consolidation, which is really good for a stock. And hopefully the stock is bottom, but if you are an investor, you want to keep that 159 price target as a very important target, because if it goes lower than that, that means it's broken support. And if it's broken support and it stayed broken support for more than 3 closes, that's when you're going to want to look to shed that stock. Okay. So 159, I want my son to keep that target. But if it goes under 159, I want you and it stays under 159. I want my son to maybe look. I know you're loyal, son, but you may want to look at selling that stock so you don't catch a falling knife.
Yeah, no, it's true. Hopefully, if the stock doesn't really continue doing anything, if they don't come out, with any news or innovations, I'm definitely looking to potentially sell it. Yeah, but that's a little bit of a technical analysis for everybody as well. All right, and then we got Lumen. Yeah, so Lumen's my newest position, my smallest position as well. This is something I bought into it as it dipped recently, but pretty much the same story as AMD and all the other AI stocks. As the AI rally's been going up so much, and then now fears with the AI bubble, I think a lot of investors are trying to take profit and, sell off all these AI stocks. So Lumen's pulled back a little bit, but not really too worried. Probably add to this position more as well.
Yeah, I mean, Lumen is a very interesting play on your part. I just would tell investors just to keep an eye on it. It has run up a lot. 52-week range is $3, went all the way up to 11. So you're getting close to the middle of that range. So I know you recently bought more. You really are believing in that stock. So just be mindful, son.
Yeah, no, I do like the stock. I voiced that in the last episode. Yeah, I think it's not really something I'm worried about long term, but it's also speculative, and I don't really like speculative stocks, so that's why it's my smallest position.
Gotcha.
All right, and last we got Roku. So Roku's pulled back a bit at 96, which I actually think is a very good spot to continue buying. Like I said last time, it posted a operating profit for first time on the last earnings report. Well, not too much has changed since then, but definitely something I'm looking to buy into more.
Coming off that good earnings report, this is a buy, guys. It's a buy, and it's under 100. Um, this is that's all I can say. Like, I would, if you have money to spend that you didn't have to worry about losing, Roku is a great play for the next couple of years.
For sure. Yeah, but that's pretty much it for my portfolio. And then you can get on to yours.
Blood in the Streets, 580. My son is taken. I was up on him for a while, but because he's got these solid plays and these plays that have, good fundamentals, he's up now. My play's a little bit more speculative. So now APLD, if you look at that stock, I'm down 36% on that. And I'm looking just to keep it. They do have revenue, so I think that they could run a little bit more. And this is after this sell-off comes, and then you got to remember all of these Mag 7 companies were still talking about AI spend. So I believe that these companies will still be in play. You just got to get this little market crash out of the way, and then people will start, buying again.
For sure. Yeah.
SE, don't even mention it. IoT, Samsura, that's a software play. If you look at the 52-week range, at 31, 61 is the high. This stock I really believe in. It's got double-digit revenue growth. They just posted the first profitable quarter. So this stock, just keep an eye on it, because software has kind of been the dog, because most people believe that AI could create the software, but there are some software players out there like CRM and other software players that are going to be big players. And I think Samsung is one of them as well. Nokia, Just remember, Nokia is a long-term investment. Nvidia just bought a bunch of shares of Nokia because they know what? That Nokia is going to be a huge player in 6G, not 5G, 6G, which is coming in 2030. Is going to be huge. Nokia is going to be at the forefront of that. Okay. And don't worry about Maxon. That's my
Yeah,
solar play. It's done. It's dead in the water. And Nugget. So take a look at Nugget. Nugget is my two-time leveraged ETF for gold. I still believe in gold. And I think gold's going to 5,000. I'm not changing my price target on that, but just I'm going to keep adding to this play, but just keep an eye on it because it is a two-time leverage play. So I'm just going to just watch it, and big dips I'll buy on it, but I do still love gold and I still love silver. And last but not least is my energy play, URAN, URAN, down on the day, but again, this is energy play. Remember when I said that energy is a huge part of AI. When we get finished with this crash, however long it takes, energies they're going to start pouring money back into energy. And there's a lot of plays in this ETF like Comico and some other plays, some other energy plays that are going to continue to they're making money. They're not like speculative plays. So there's a couple speculative plays in there, and also there's a couple of plays that are making money. So I like this play.
for sure. But that's it, right?
That's it.
All right, so that will conclude this portfolio update. Is there anything else you got?
So just one thing, guys. As a investor, not a trader, remember there are going to be days like this. The market was like a Goldilocks market for most of the year. And now the market with the uncertainty, all the things going on is starting to come down. Pay attention. If you have plays that are long term, please don't touch them. I understand if you have money that's in the market that you need, I get that. But if you don't need the money, please just hold on. And the market will start to turn around. If you have a different, we have a couple brokerages here. One that's like a speculative play, one that's I have another brokerage that are long term plays, and other plays that are short term plays. I'm doing a little changing on my short term plays, maybe adding a little here. But stocks like Meta, who's around 600, you want to look at stocks like ServiceNow, who announced a stock split on December 5th. You're going to want to look at that stock. There's been some stocks that have come back nicely. Amazon has come back after their earnings. You want to look at them, some high quality names that are going to be at some good prices for you.
Yeah, for sure. I think the sell-off, there's a couple of companies that, the market is kind of leaving behind that'll be great buying opportunities that are real companies, with fair valuations right now. So,
Absolutely.
yeah. But that's pretty much it, and we'll see you guys next time.
Hey guys, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yeah, yeah, like and subscribe for sure. All right.